Heard of. Hey, welcome to the Bristol Small Business Show. Today I've got something really different. I've actually got a social enterprise, which is really wonderful. David was reminding me, I've got Dave Toohey with me. Now, he's got a business, Mind for Me, which is all about pay it forward. I'm sure that he was watching the movie with Kevin Spacey, all about Trevor McKinney, 14-year-old. So you're not 14, are you?
No, not anymore, but I have been.
So is there any truth that Mind for Me was based on this whole concept and you've stolen it from me?
It's been alleged by yourself, but no truth.
I do like spreading those rumours. I think it's always a little bit of fun to see if we can get a bit of conjecture and rumour, innuendo and hearsay into the show. We do like some facts though. So you did remind me that we met in 2012.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, back then I'd previously been living in Europe, and I'd just moved to Australia at the end of 2011. And you had your recruitment firm, and my background's management accounting, and I met with you regarding some positions and things back then.
And you had this this online thing back then program, but it wasn't this Mind for Me thing. It was something else. What was that?
That was called the Accountant's Circle. So I started that in 2007. It was my second online venture, and it was effectively I was building online software and Excel tools and templates and things for accountants and licensing.
So hang on, that was your second online venture. So what was your first?
The first, I was in Canberra at the time, back in 96, 97, I launched Cars on the Net, which was an online marketplace selling used cars.
So you were online before Mark Zuckerberg.
How old's he? He's not 14. Is he?
Facebook didn't come out. Facebook didn't come out until 2003. So you were online before Mark Zuckerberg.
Well, yeah, thanks, Kev. I'm feeling a little bit older now, but there's a few things that make me feel old.
I've got a few years on you, so don't you worry about that. So look, let's talk a little bit about, so your background, you're a management accountant, but you're also obviously into all the geeky stuff, online, world of web. Hey, 96, that's the world of web really only came into the public genre in 95. So almost as it was emerging, you were going, there's something in here.
I wasn't thinking about it too much. I was enjoying it. I suppose as a kid, we had a Commodore 64, and you might remember those, and a tape deck. And my punishments would be the joystick taken away. So I'd turn to programming and playing around with the computer. But my father, an accountant, he always thought computers were just tools and games and things like that. So it wasn't something that was really embraced in the family.
There's going to be a few people watching this show that when you talked about a Commodore 64, they're going to be going, oh, I remember those cars. Holden used to make them. Right? And no, it was actually a computer, and the reason it was called 64 because it was a 64-bit computer. That was it. Bit.
Yeah.
You know, not even byte. So
64 was it 64K, I think.
64K. It was, yeah. It was. They were slow as like. I wasn't into computers. My brother was. He had a Commodore 64. I never got on. Look, I was a bit of a maths geek, but I just never got into the whole computing side of things. So, and yet I worked for IBM. Funny story about that. So, but talking about this Mind for Me and paying it forward. Obviously, you've been passionate about getting something working online, and you've been passionate about helping people. As you said, your accounting circle is all about helping accountants all connect up and share information and and run better businesses from there. You did sadly point out that kind of fell in a hole when you went through some personal dramas, and had 24,000 accountants all hooked up and let that go. That really sad. But and I can understand how those dramas do happen. But now you got Mind for Me. So tell me, Mind for Me is kind of like it is about pay it forward. Mm-hmm. What do we mean by that?
It is with it's mostly a reciprocal type thing actually than pay it forward. I think from my understanding of pay it forward really is kind of a bit of that karma type thing, and what goes around comes around, and without any way of expectation. And we don't really want to think about expectation, but Mine for Me uses more of a reciprocal type basis that it uses kind coins as a points type system, so you can't buy or sell them. They're merely earned and spent through helping each other in different ways. So, when you're asking for a hand, it's not for a freebie. But it's going to be reciprocated. It's going to be paid on somewhere eventually. And eventually what you do for someone else will come back to you in a way that you need it when you need it.
So are you going to have kind coin people of the month who made the most kind coins, little competition stuff?
I think it could be. I think not so much around the coins themselves, because there's a whole lot that's been built into the platform, such as urgent help increases the amount of kind coins just to make sure people are willing to give help with a lot less notice. But certainly around the amount of help given, the number of hours people might spend helping others in a month. Absolutely. We don't have them built in at the moment, but we've certainly got plans for that.
So I've just realised that you and I are talking about this and kind coins and all that sort of stuff without people actually realising what Mine for Me is doing.
Mine for Me.
So let's go right to the very top. The whole concept is that if you need a job done, but you're either not capable of doing it or you can't do it for whatever reason, then you can reach out in Mine for Me and get someone to do that job for you.
Absolutely. In the simplest terms, it's about helping people help each other. So with that, it could be just your friends and your own support network, or you can choose to ask publicly and ask anyone. But it keeps your profile and your details private.
Okay, that's pretty cool. So really, it's kind of bringing back, like, back in the olden days when we used to have villages, we used to all help each other out and that sort of stuff. But that's kind of, I'm not saying that we're unkind and all that sort of stuff these days, but people are less prone to just be randomly helping out their neighbours and stuff.
Absolutely. I think there's many different reasons for it, and one of it, I think, from what I've seen, and when I started planning and thinking about Mine for Me, I didn't know what it was even going to be. I just knew that people had needs and they weren't getting met. That was back in 2007, and one of the things is, a lot of people are willing to help, but they don't know that people need help. And it can be the smallest thing to give, really, and you get a lot of value giving to others at times. And if people aren't asking for the help, then it doesn't happen. People have to be out there trying to find people or see what help's needed. And if people feel, whether it's embarrassed, they feel shy, they feel these days, many people feel you're supposed to be self-reliant. You're supposed to be able to do everything for yourself and not rely on others. But I just don't get, and that's one of my sort of headaches and things I struggle with is, why do we go into so much alone? Why don't we ask for the smallest hand? And instead of spending hours, and it applies to business as well, we spend hours doing something that someone helping us might take 5 minutes, or it might be something really convenient for them, and it might be something that gets them out. When you put a call out there for someone to help, you might have, even talking in terms of business, you might say, I want someone to explain how a balance sheet and a profit and loss works. And you could spend hours trying to get your head around it. And it could be a 5-minute phone call with an accountant who's wanting to take a break from something.
Who might just want to help out. So that's a bit funny. Accountants, don't be going down that. We know that's not true. So it's a really interesting concept. So and one of the other reasons that we don't reach out for help is there's all this guilt around asking for help.
It can be. There's so many things. Like I said, people feel that they're supposed to be able to handle and manage everything themselves. But some of the smallest things, like you go to IKEA and you buy this flat pack furniture, some of it, 2 hands aren't enough. You need 3 or 4 hands. So I actually used the platform myself. I bought 2 new bed bases. And I don't know if you've ever put together some of these bed bases, but extra set of hands just for half an hour makes a massive difference.
Yeah, sometimes you just need somebody to lift up that third and hold in place that third bit of wood, because you can't hold 2 bits of wood and a screwdriver with just 2 hands.
Absolutely. And how many people are going to just knock on the neighbour's door? Some do, but many won't.
Absolutely. So it's actually bringing back community. It's actually bringing back a bit of community spirit into the whole gig economy.
That's what it's all about. That's the core of it. And to be honest, it'd be great to think something like this isn't needed. But even what it's useful for is a management tool, just for asking. One, it opens up the ability to comfortably ask for that help and put it out there just in a few clicks. But then it's a tool to make that not just ask for the help, but just manage it. But when you're asked for help, if you know 20 people are asked for help from a friend, by a friend, you only have to say yes if it's convenient. It's not pressure. You don't have to juggle things around, because so many people are in a support network. So it starts to become far more convenient to help people when you don't have that pressure.
And on top of that, it can actually bring a bit of safety and security into asking for help as well, because now there's a record or a transaction of who is helping if anything was to go wrong.
There's that. You've got the record of it. You've got control over who you're asking for help, and then who you select for the help from those. It's also got, like many of the platforms do, ratings and reviews and things like that. So if it is someone just to mow your lawn, you can go and have a look and see what others have said about their work or about them as a person, whatever it might be.
Now, we did a deal about you washing my car for this interview. I'm not going to hold you to that. I'm not. It did come up as a bit of a joke in Raw and Raw that we do on Fridays.
And you don't like washing either.
Look, I don't like ironing. I hate ironing and I hate washing my car. But, you'll notice my shirt is beautifully ironed, right? I didn't cheat and wear one of those shirts that you can't tell, unlike somebody else on the show. But
it's true, it's not ironed.
I'm jealous, mate. I am jealous. So, look, I love this. I love the fact that you can help others and just be giving. You don't need to be at a break-even level with these kind coins or anything like that. You can ask for help without feeling guilty, because if you're one of those people who does feel guilty about asking for help, then you go, hey, I just need to help out some other people to get to break even again. Awesome. Guilt gone. You have your kind coins to manage the whole process. There's a way of, there's that overarching platform that helps you know if somebody can do the job they're about to, which is really helpful. Particularly if it was, cutting your hedge and you don't want it to have a big V in the middle of it. Melissa also hates the way I cut the hedge, I've got to say. She has banned me from the hedger. That's another thing.
You've got a hedge, Kevin. So you've got a hedge.
I'm a bit worried about Melissa running around with power tools that could cut off my fingers, but we won't talk about that.
I've never cut a hedge, but I'm willing to give it a go.
Not ours. We did have some wasp. We did have a wasp nest in it. We were almost. Then we could have used mine for me. Hey, cut our hedge and remove the wasps all in one. And it's a way of giving back. I love the platform. What's not to love about it?
Well, I think it's the challenges I've got aren't with the platform itself. So it's rarely I get much kickback. The biggest thing I get, actually, the single biggest question I get asked is, why would I have a stranger look after my kids? And my answer is, don't. Why would you? I'm not saying to do. Ask your friends. Only ask people you would normally ask. So,
well, there is that. Unless, no, I won't. That was a really bad joke. I won't even go there. So, I love the idea of Mind For Me. I think it's fantastic. So, how do we get the word out? What do we do? What's particularly during these times of COVID, when people are looking for ways to help each other out, how can we get more people onto your platform?
Oh, it's simple, really. Basically, going to it's a web platform, so it's online at www.mindforme.com. That's
I'll
M-I.
type this as you're doing that.
That's M-I-N-D, the three W's, dot mindforme.com. So it's simple, and you just click join in the top corner, and it's simple to register. So we ask at least put
No, are you just.com?
Just .com. We've got all the other domain names and everything, but we just use it .com.
There you go. I've sent that. We're going to need to type it into the Brisbane Small Business Group because Facebook doesn't let us do that while we're doing a live stream. It'll only let us type into other places, but that's okay. You know, we can come back and do that. I love the idea. I think it's a fantastic idea, Dave. I think more people should be. That's wrong. I think it's a great initiative if you're looking to help other people and you're looking about where you can start. You don't want to have to go out and join something that you're going to have to commit so much time every single week and all that sort of stuff because you don't have a lot of time. So you can just pick up jobs whenever you're ready to help people out, and at the same time you might get your car washed or your lawn mowed.
Absolutely, it can be that simple, really. Yeah, you've summed it up.
Hey, anyone would think that I listened every now and again. So Dave Toohey from Mind for Me. Look, you've also got. Look, I'd be really remiss if I didn't let people know that you do have another business.
Have to earn money somehow. Mind for Me, I'll keep on that only for a sec. Mind for Me does, and I think it's important for any social enterprise, and it's a big part of where social enterprises come about, have a way to be financially viable, to have a revenue model. So it does have plans to introduce a subscription. So $60 a year for a family or a household. At the moment, we're doing crowdfunding for that. So we're looking for $30 for once we do officially launch, even though we're up and running now. But with that, I need to keep earning money. And anyone, I think, starting in business needs to. So, yeah, I have a management consulting business.
You do need to feed the family. Everyone will forgive you for that management consulting business. That's actually called Ascendus. And you can find them on the Brisbane Small Business Directory soon, coming soon to the Brisbane Small Business Directory. Ascendus. Mind for Me will be there. We're going to share stuff about Mind for Me into the group on a semi-regular basis, just to remind people it's out there and help people to join in. I know that small business owners are very generous by nature. They are passionate about helping out each other and their community. And I actually have a very strong belief that the health of the small business community is very reflected within the social health of a community. So I'll let you think about that. Dave Toohey, I want to thank you for your time today.
Yeah, thanks, Kevin. Really appreciate it and quite enjoyed it. Looking forward to attacking your head.
We try to make it not too stressful for the guests anyway.
Yeah.
And your homework is watch Pay It Forward, right? Little Trevor McKinney. It was the same kid that played The Sixth Sense. It was him that was in it.
Okay.
So, and Kevin Spacey. I'll catch all you guys later. Bye now.